Chiefs.
Hey guys, it's Chris Jones here. Wrapping up. We got 5 more years of greatness. I will be returning to Chief. This is everything we dreamed about, talked about. Now some more Super Bowl rings, man. Let's go.
Hey, good morning, Kansas City. That was fun. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Jake, do you have any idea? Just went off the air until I heard the words, mics are hot. It was
no idea.
Frantic there for a moment.
You sound a little different,
Dylan
too.
Michaels stepping in, and do I sound bad?
Not great.
You don't sound good.
Yeah. My connection or me?
Well, I mean,
you sound good.
Your voice, it seems pretty good, but something about the connection that sounds very digital.
Something happened.
Overmodulated or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went. I mean, we lost connection, then we had to reconnect.
I don't see you even connected.
Hey, off and running. Hey,
Really?
the ball is tipped.
Yeah, I don't see you on the tie line.
We're not. You don't see me connected?
No.
How is this working?
I
I don't know.
So I imagine that's why it sounds like this.
By my sheer will, I'm making this happen. How about we try? I'll disconnect and try to connect again. How about that?
I
Boom.
think that's a great idea.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah.
The words that you long to hear. Do some talking.
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
Nate.
Funny you should ask. Good morning, Kansas City. We're going to get Steven reconnected from downtown in the Power and Light District, where the Miller Lite Fan Fest begins today, Tuesday. You're hearing that right. Back in the day, when I was a young pup at Bishop Ward High School, the Big 8 tournament was just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Then it expanded to the Big 12, and we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right, stop talking now. That's enough.
Oh, hey.
Enough of you.
There you are. Okay.
Now how do I sound?
A lot better.
And I see you connected.
Hey.
Man, that was
Hey.
weird.
The old reboot.
Here we go. And away we go.
The Big 12 tournament.
Let the games begin. So, yeah, I'm here. We're in what I call the Sports Radio 810 hot box. Guess why I call it that?
I can guess a couple reasons.
It's about. I'm not. There's not a thermostat in here, but my guess it's 114 degrees in here. That's what I would say.
Nice. Getting a little
Just
sauna.
having
Yeah.
a good knowledge of temperatures.
Some hot yoga
So-
while you're in there?
Yeah. We are in the Sports Radio 810 broadcast booth, known as the 810 Hot Box. That sounds like it'd be a good show on a Friday night. Welcome back to the 810 Hot Box.
You're in the hot box with Curtis Siebel.
Whoa. Now, why do you have to bring him into it?
I don't know. I just feel like he'd be in the hot box.
He didn't do nothing to you. Maybe he did. But I'm here. Dylan Michaels is here, and that's real. 2 people, and that's all that should be in here, really. It's comfortable. He's got an up close view, and he's gonna listen to the show. But we're right at the entrance to KC Live, across the street from T-Mobile Center, which, of course, is the site of the Big 12 men's tournament and the Big 12 women's tournament. We have 2 games for the men today, and we have the championship game for the women. And so you can come down here and enjoy everything that's going on, not only the basketball across the street, but, of course, everything that'll be on stage here, like we are every year. And so it's a celebration of basketball is what it is. Don't you think? That's a good description, Nate?
Almost like a fest, like a festival, like a fan fest.
Oh, is that right?
Something like that.
All right, then. Miller Lite Fan Fest.
Yeah.
Come on down. Get on down here. Miller Lite Fan Fest Live. And you know what?
It's the Big 12!
It starts now, literally. So if you want to come on down here and have some fun. You know, also, I would like, Nate, I hate you for sending me that video that I keep watching. So,
Me?
yeah, you know what you sent me. I think on Friday. Don't play with me. You know exactly what you sent me. And I just saw it again. The anger fuels me. So, wait, and by the way, I'm gonna put you on the record. So there's not gonna be any. Oh, I got caught up. What time are you gonna be down here?
I have a meeting at 11 o'clock, so I think it should last till 11:30. So down there probably by noon or so, maybe noon 30, to be safe.
Yeah, be safe. Come on down.
Oh, I'm coming down today, buddy.
So you can come down and enjoy all the festivities for Miller Lite Fan Fest. If you go, I mean, I can imagine if you want to check with tickets for less, tickets can be had for today's matchups. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I would think. You know, I think our only hope for having like an overwhelming crowd today was K-State falling into this session. They didn't, thankfully for them.
Right.
But you know what? We still got basketball. And honestly, like if you want to come down and just watch some basketball, skip work or whatever, you don't want to deal with. Like Wednesday night, that'll be wild because you'll have KU and K-State in the same session, right? So that'll be, and you'll be here for that.
Yeah.
So that'll be crazy. But today you can come down and at 11:30 a.m. Oklahoma State against UCF, and then at 2 o'clock you've got West Virginia and Cincinnati, and of course that should be of interest to you guys because West Virginia and Cincinnati will play for the right to take on Kansas. And Nate, as you predicted yesterday, you jinxed it. Kansas will be shorthanded in this tournament.
Way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Had to run your mouth yesterday, and now no Hunter Dickinson and no Kevin McCullough.
I thought jinxing was when you did the opposite. You know, when you said, "Hey, well, they're going to be fine. They've got McCullough and Dickinson," and then they don't play.
No, you talked about it. You just made it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate Bukaty.
Spoke it into existence. There's all kinds of ways you could jinx something, man.
Apparently so. Well,
so now that we know this, I mean, do you still think they're going to be underdogs against Cincy or West Virginia?
I think it depends on how educated the betting public is, or the people that bet on this game are.
Would you say Jake is educated?
Yeah, would you, Nate?
I'd say he's got a PhD in the School of Hard Knocks.
No, does he?
Yeah. Very, very street smart man.
I think it does matter who it is, Cincinnati or West Virginia.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd probably go with that. But I just don't know. I don't know, man. It's in Kansas City, Allen Fieldhouse East, you know, whatever you want to call it. So maybe that sways things a little bit. But without Dickinson and McCullough, this Kansas team, I don't know.
So anyway, that's the afternoon games, morning afternoon games. But then tonight, it will be wild here at T-Mobile Center because last night in the Big 12 Women's Tournament in the semifinals, Texas and Kansas State, which was a marquee matchup between top 20 schools, K-State 16 and Texas 5. Texas wins 71-64, and so they advance to the championship game. And then Iowa State pulls the upset on Oklahoma. Oklahoma, the 1 seed, number 17 in the nation, they lose. Iowa State put it on them, 85-68. And so Iowa State gets it done. And so this could be the week of Iowa State down here. And so if you are a fan of women's basketball, or if you're a fan of wild atmospheres, that should be crazy tonight, as Iowa State and their fans, I'm sure, will fill up T-Mobile Center, and they'll take on the number 5 team in the nation, Texas, for the Big 12 championship, and that's at 8 o'clock. And if you can't get down here to watch it, it'll be on ESPN2. And so that'll be a super fun atmosphere. And so there you go, Iowa State. Yeah. And I would imagine that a whole bunch of Iowa – and they're already – I saw some of the players in a press conference over the weekend talking about how enthusiastic the crowds have been and how excited they were to have their fans filling up T-Mobile Center. And I would imagine that a whole bunch of people, if they weren't coming down – early. They're coming down early to support their women in the championship game and get ready to support the men as they could make a run in this tournament. And so Iowa State's going to take over tonight, so you can be a part of that. That'll be a fun atmosphere.
So the 14 years that I did play-by-play for the Kansas women's basketball team, obviously I was up in Ames at least once a year for those games. They always have a really good crowd for their women's basketball team. They had the same coach that they did all the time I was doing those games, Bill Fenley. He's been there forever. And they always have a team that has at least 4 kids that can shoot the three. Like every kid, their big player can always shoot the three. They can hit three-pointers, and they're fun to watch because of that. And last night, in that upset over Oklahoma, they went 52% from beyond the arc. And there's a kid from Derby, Kansas, who's a freshman. So if you want to throw a little more local flair in there, named Addie Brown, who went 4 for 5 from beyond the arc in that game, knocking off the number 1 seed. What a big moment that must have been for her at a place like T-Mobile to go 4 for 5 from 3 in the semifinals of your conference tournament as a freshman. So you're right. Iowa State fans will turn out. It'll be a great crowd there tonight, but there will probably still be some tickets. And if you want to go see a really fun, exciting game in a really good atmosphere, you should go down there tonight. You'll have a great time.
We'll play some comments later from their head coach, the Texas head coach, Vic Schaefer, who did you guys see any of these comments after the game yesterday? He expressed, and Texas is leaving the conference now. He shared some strong sentiments about why the Big 12 women's tournament should have been at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City here 10 years ago instead of Municipal Auditorium. And PJ Green from Fox 4. Nate, your nemesis or your friend?
Great amount of respect for PJ. Great amount of respect for him.
Does he feel the same?
I don't know about that, but I think so.
Right.
He actually texts me about MLS soccer sometimes because he watches all the games, so I really appreciate that.
So he tweeted out the sound, so we'll play maybe in a couple of segments. I think it's worth a listen, and they're going to play tonight against Iowa State. So yesterday, I know that Nate, I don't know how much attention you were paying, but every time I would refresh on Twitter and X, I would see a tweet from Jake Gutierrez or something from Jake, and I'm sure Jake, you were seeing. I was trying to retweet everything, man. I couldn't keep up with all the moves in the NFL. It was crazy. That was. I mean, we knew it was going to be wild, right? We knew it was going to be crazy, but that even was overwhelming for me. I mean, there's so many signings, so many trades, so many rumors, so much anger, and look, it hasn't stopped. There's some moves that have happened this morning as another quarterback signing happens, as Diana Rossini from The Athletic tweets out that Sam Darnold was deciding between Denver and Minnesota. Denver and Minnesota were vying for the services of Sam Darnold, a quarterback who used to have the love of Jake Gutierrez. I don't know if you still do.
He still does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still root for the guy.
Round of applause.
Not a fickle fan over here.
let's get a round of applause for Sam Darnold, who had offers from Denver and Minnesota, and he picked Minnesota. So things continue to go well for the Broncos. As Sean Payton and the Broncos could not convince Sam Darnold to play in Denver, he takes a 1-year deal with the Vikings for $10 million. So Rossini adds, Minnesota was motivated to beat out Denver for Darnold. So
Man, it's nice to be a Chiefs fan.
on to plan B. Sean Payton's like, hey, you know what? We're fine. We're going to get Sam Darnold. I like his skill set. I'll coach him up. Hey, Sean, what's that? He picked Minnesota. What? All right, then.
I mean, how bad have things gotten for you when you're disappointed because you lost out on Sam Darnold? Like you're fighting over the table scraps of the NFL quarterback position. You know,
take the disappointed part of it. How bad are things where you just lost out on Sam Darnold?
Yeah,
that's what. But like
the fact that you lost out.
Yeah, like I think it's bad enough to be like, oh, we really hope we get Sam Darnold. That's a bad place to be in the first place. Like that's not where you wanted to be. Even the Vikings didn't want to be fighting for Sam Darnold, but at least they got him. If you're the Broncos, you're already in the bad spot of, oh, gosh, I hope we get Sam Darnold, too. Oh, we didn't get Sam Darnold. Oh, my God.
that's great. That's great.
Oh, poor Broncos.
No.
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
I think there might be something there with Sam Darnold. I'm not going to poop on him like you are, Nate. I think that might be a good reclamation project.
I'll be happily proven wrong. Hey, he might be, but it wasn't plan A for the Vikings, right? They didn't want to end up in this situation that they were fighting for Sam Darnold. That's just what ended up happening to them.
Everything I've read is they've looked at this as a reset year, and this is kind of what the plan has been. They're just going to have a stopgap for 1 year and not over. I mean, they talked to Kirk Cousins. It couldn't work because the money that he was asking for, as you see what he got from Atlanta, no. If I'm Minnesota, I say no, I'm good. But it seems like this is a reset year for them, and I don't know.
I mean, I imagine Cousins would have stayed if the Vikings would have paid him the same amount. I mean,
well, yeah, but no.
Right, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, no, good luck.
Right.
I can't figure out. Is this the same Atlanta team that refused to pay Lamar Jackson when they had a chance to get him last year?
Interesting, huh?
I'm
not going to pay Lamar Jackson, but Kirk Cousins? Yes.
Coming off an Achilles at his age,
right.
I mean, he's a fine quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but I mean, do you not remember how baffled I was? Like, why is Atlanta not jumping all over the opportunity to acquire Lamar Jackson? Why I couldn't figure it out. I really couldn't. And then you saw the kind of year he had, and I know that he didn't play well in the AFC Championship game, but what he did and what he does is so far and above away anything that Atlanta's had at quarterback for so many years. And can you imagine the type of excitement he would bring to that franchise? And just he's a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah, he still was the MVP of the league.
He's a hell of a quarterback.
He still was the MVP.
And they just turned their nose up at the opportunity to acquire him. But they couldn't wait. I mean, the amount of money they paid Kirk Cousins is shocking to me.
Overcorrection.
And I think Kirk Cousins, he's a fine quarterback.
He's the best option available. You know? I mean, that's the thing.
If he returns from the Achilles injury to be what he was at his age, I do think that's a fair.
Who else is out there that's better?
No, I don't disagree
Baker
with you.
Wasn't available,
right? I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that like he is not young, and that I know people recover from Achilles injuries better than they used to, and it's not like he was ever really mobile, but that's still not a. I think that there's at least a level of concern you have to have there. Now, like you said, it's not like there's a better option.
But still, it's baffling that they went this direction. Like
could have got a young quarterback in his prime,
right.
you know.
Overcorrection. Nah, we're good on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins?
But like a superstar quarterback
Right.
who would be the face of your franchise, who would sell tickets,
Under
who would
30.
bring excitement. It's like,
in his prime.
whatever. So like if I'm Minnesota, I'm like, okay, hey, look, they're not going to do anything anyway this year. I don't think. That's just my opinion. And so you take the stopgap, take a look at what's available in the draft. Yeah, don't get caught up in that. And that's probably what they did. They looked at it and they figured out, we're not paying you what you want. And if you're Kirk Cousins, I mean, this man now, what has he made now? $330 million in this league?
Good quarterback, great businessman.
Yeah, solid quarterback. But it's just like, and I know it's a different regime, but it's the same franchise. Like if you're Carolina and you sit there with the knowledge that a year ago you could have had 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, and then yesterday you trade him for a second and a fifth. What a gut punch to your fan base. And that's why that past regime is gone, but still, like, what an incredible mismanagement of a franchise. It's and again, all these different things make you so thankful. I mean, not only for Patrick Mahomes, but also for Brett Veach and Andy Reid, and for the way they conduct business and the way they handle things and the way they've managed this roster. I mean, the Panthers have been so bad and continue to make bad moves. Luke Combs got so pissed off. He was tweeting about it last night. He put in all caps, "What are we doing? No first round pick for McCaffrey a few years back, and now none for Burns. Are we just firebombing the whole team here or what?" I usually don't comment on these kinds of things, but it's just becoming slow torture at this point. So when you got Luke Combs on your ass about moves, then you've gone wrong somewhere. I can tell you that.
Well, at least they have the first round pick, first overall pick.
No.
Right?
Nope. No. And passing on C.J. Stroud, just like all these, like.
Right, when their coach wanted him.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
I'm a very successful businessman, and I own the team, so that means I know more about football than you,
Their
football
head coach
coach.
is like, this is the guy I want. This is the guy I want. This guy's going to be the best quarterback in the draft class. Nope.
It would have. I mean, that would challenge anyone's ability to continue to be a fan of a franchise. This 2-year run of what they've done and what they haven't done, and every move they've made it seems wrong, is a disaster. It's mind-boggling. So I don't know what to tell you about that. As for the Chiefs, there's some now former Chiefs that have left. Top of the list, Nick Allegretti. And I think the writing was on the wall when he did that interview with Kay Adams on her show, and said he wanted to be a starter. And there's no starting spots open on the offensive line, or at least where he could play. I mean, he can't play left tackle, but he was going to go and get starter money someplace and get the opportunity to start. And that's what he did with Washington. He signs a 3-year, $16 million deal, gets just over $9 million guaranteed. So congratulations. Get a round of applause for Nick Allegretti, who fought his ass off for this football team in the postseason, replacing an All-Pro in Joe Thuney. Played through the Super Bowl with a torn UCL. Remember he was in tears on the field being interviewed after the AFC Championship game. Was a great guy on and off the field. Teammates loved him. And it just what a great story of a guy who worked his ass off, worked and stayed ready for an opportunity that may or may not come, and it did in the most pressured environment against elite opposition and taking over for maybe the best guy in his position in the league, plays at a high level, played through injury, helped his team win another championship, and goes and gets paid by the Commanders. I feel great for Nick Allegretti. That's awesome. Hate to lose him, but he deserved to be a starter. He deserved to get that money, and he earned it. So that was, bittersweet, but I feel great. Awesome for Nick Allegretti, right?
So happy for him to get paid.
Well deserved.
Yeah. I mean, nothing but respect. Tip of the cap.
Be rooting for him.
I'm glad he's not going to a Chiefs rival. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can root for him to do great.
Be blocking for
Yeah.
Austin Eckler.
Absolutely earned the paycheck, and helped the Chiefs win a Super Bowl, man. A couple of them.
Right. And also that it probably makes John Bernthal happy.
Right.
Because I'm not rubbing your face in this, Jake. I told you this. I'm just telling you fact. As I was having a conversation with John Bernthal over the weekend at Planet Comic-Con, and we had talked about how we had promoted his appearance. We're talking about him on the show, and he was asking about the radio station. That's Sports Radio 810, and he even dropped an F-bomb. He goes, what the blank is it like to be doing a sports talk show in this town right now? I said,
pretty good, pal.
John Bernthal, it's incredible. It's fantastic. I feel like the Punisher every morning. That's what I feel like.
You're like Frank Castle.
And so he was very and he goes, man, I can't believe it. This, because you got to be loving this. I said, well, who's your football team? And he goes, man, I'm from the D.C. area, so I'm a Commanders guy. Yeah. I said, man, I thought Bieniemy was going to help you out more. And he goes, yeah, you know what though, we got new ownership and things are looking better. So I'm excited. I said, go draft yourself a quarterback and hopefully, and he was a big football fan, so maybe he's excited. He should be about Austin Eckler and getting Nick Allegretti. He'll like him. John Bernthal, the Punisher, will be a fan, so that's all. How about that, Jake?
I love it. I mean, I'm
having a little football conversation with Johnny Bernthal. That was a good moment over the weekend.
Shane, Frank Castle,
All of it.
Johnny Boy Soprano.
Yeah, whoever. A great actor is what he is.
Yes, he is. Fantastic.
I
think they did. I think the Commanders. I like what they did yesterday.
Nate, I do this because I love you, because we all have to have different personalities on the show, right? I love the fact that, in a commercial break yesterday, I said, and that's pretty cool. I was talking to football, John Bernthal, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Every single character that Jake just listed off, I'm pretty sure I've never seen.
Right. and I told you.
I'm just sorry.
No. But I told you, I said, you know who he is. You just don't know that you know.
Right.
Like, if you see him, you see, like, I'm going to throw this out. Have you seen Wolf of Wall Street? Probably not.
Yeah, I did know. I saw that one. Yep.
Okay. He's in that. I mean, he's in many movies that you've seen.
Yeah.
Or TV, but you just don't know. You're not making the connection. But then if you say, okay, I got it. So that's all.
Well,
But that's fine.
it's much better to be a Chiefs fan than a Commanders fan right now. Yes.
Right.
Have you
That's what
watched
John
The Bear?
Bernthal
He
said,
was in
see?
The Bear. Did you watch that yet?
Yeah.
I watched the first
He
episode.
refuses.
Okay.
And then you just stopped. That was it.
We just haven't picked it back up.
The best show on TV just wasn't enough for you. Like,
Well, it was.
this thing wins too many Emmys. It's too widely critically acclaimed. Everyone agrees it's fantastic. I don't like it. Just say it.
I didn't say we didn't like it. We just haven't picked it back up. I don't know. It didn't. I guess we both thought my wife and I are, trying to watch a show together, but it's hard for us to find the time to get together at the same time and do it right now.
It didn't hook you. I got you.
But I
Different
understand that
strokes for different folks.
if you give it a few episodes, it probably would hook me a little bit more. We just need to get back around to it.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
I ripped through that in like a week.
I bet you did.
Because the episodes aren't very long.
Right. No, that's one of the reasons we were interested in it. We do want to watch it. We just haven't.
Hey, it's all right, man. You got kids.
You know what? You know what? No, it's not. It's not all right.
No, it's
We'll take a
not
break.
okay.
Well, it's not
Shame
okay.
on
Back
you.
after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Again, all of the moves yesterday, overwhelming in the NFL. The Chiefs brought back long snapper James Winchester. They lose Tommy Townsend, who signs a deal with the Texans. Nick Allegretti is now with the Washington Commanders. As far as wide receivers, I know a lot of people want the Chiefs to sign a wide receiver. Gabe Davis, who I mentioned I would like them to be interested in, signed a 3-year, $39 million deal with Jacksonville. For the amount of money he got, I'm good. Jacksonville can have him. Chiefs don't need to go down that route. Now we turn our eyes to Darnell Mooney, because there's still plenty of buzz around the Chiefs and former Bear Darnell Mooney, who had his best year under Matt Nagy in Chicago. And another name that we've brought up, and if you remember last time he was a free agent, I had him on top of my list, and then he signed a deal that the Chiefs were unwilling to match with Washington. And now Jake has brought him back up, and I've reignited my flame for him. Curtis Samuel, I think, could be a very interesting fit for the Chiefs.
For the right price?
And they could use him the way he can do things that they wanted Kadarius Toney and McCole Hardman to do. Especially like Kadarius Toney, the way that, a lot of the creative ways that Andy Reid has used wide receivers, and that's why I wanted Curtis Samuel the first time around in free agency, but he signed a 3-year, $34.5 million deal with Washington, and at that time the Chiefs weren't going to match it, and it was disappointing because I thought he was a perfect fit, and now he's available again. He's coming off decent years. Nothing great, but also remember the dysfunction that he's been playing at or under in Washington. But those two names, and I know other people have mentioned those as well. So Darnell Mooney, Curtis Samuel, I think, are two targets that make sense for the Kansas City Chiefs as far as wide receivers. Doubt they could get both of them, but if they could get one of them, I think it would be a savvy move. Nate Bukaty, Jake Gutierrez. What about Darnell Mooney and Curtis Samuel?
I think, what you like about both of them is you can daydream that if you get them out of the terrible situations they've been in, that their production could be even better than what it has been. I thought the same about Richie James, though, last year. I thought he was going to come here, and it was like, boy, if he could put up those numbers in with the Giants, then what can he do in Kansas City? And it didn't turn out that way, so you can't just assume that that's going to be the case, but you can still hope on it. And I think it was Matt Derrick that pointed out to us about the